Hi everyone, it's Dr. Brent from Arc of Life, and we're here in this video segment to talk about kombucha. Kombucha is a fermented black tea. It has great health benefits as far as just adding another dimension of fermented foods to your diet. We've been doing this now for a couple months, and it's really good. The best thing about the kombucha is, like I said, it's just more fermented foods, better bacteria, and it will help with digestion and detoxification, all these other things. You can read about it in the kit when you get one. So this is our kit right here. If you're watching this video, chances are you found this video on the instruction sheet. So the instruction sheet is in part of the kit, and it'll tell you everything that's in the kit. It'll tell you what to do with it, and we're making this really easy. The starter kit is exactly that. It's a starter kit. It will help you make 1 liter of tea. If you want to increase the batch size, it's completely scalable. So start with this for your first batch. Start making, you'll make a new SCOBY. Talks about all that stuff in here. If you want to scale it, just keep the ratios the same. It's very easy to do, okay? So in our kit we have a funnel, very important, not for the first part, but for the second part. This is our secondary fermentation bottle. So this is what's going to carbonate and make your kombucha delicious. So these are all things that are coming up for the second part of this video. In this first segment, we're going to talk about actually the primary stage of fermentation. And what that does is it digests the sugar that you're going to put in your tea. The bacteria and yeast start to grow, digest all that sugar, so you don't have to digest it yourself, but you still get all the benefits of that bacteria. Okay? So this is our starter tea. There's about a cup in here of starter tea, and it's keeping your SCOBY alive. So the SCOBY is that layer of skim on top there, and basically what it is, it's kind of a patty of yeast and other bacteria. So call it a SCOBY. Some people call it the mother. The one that forms on top is called the baby. There's a whole bunch of different information. You can read all about it, again, like I said, in our instruction sheet here. Okay. The other things we have in here, just some black tea. There's 2 bags, so we're going to use both of these bags to do this starter kit. And then the other thing is just some sugar. So there's about 90 mils of sugar in there, about 6 tablespoons. So if you keep using the same amount of tea and the same ratios, it's about 6 tablespoons for your next batch. But use this stuff, you have everything you need. All you need is water from home, and you need to boil the water, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start off with taking your bottle. So this is, like I said, the secondary stage, but we're gonna use it just to measure out how much tea we need, okay? So what you wanna do is wash this well. Whenever you're working with live cultures and that, you want to be clean, but not too, you don't need to sterilize anything, but you really want to be clean, make sure your hands are clean, make sure your work area is clean as well, okay? It'll just give you the best chance of getting the best results out of your kit here. So you're going to go over to your sink, and you're going to work, you're just going to fill this up to about a couple inches from the top here, okay? So I have one filled here, and basically we're about 4 inches or so from the top of that bottle. And that's exactly how much tea we want to have whenever we go to our second stage here, okay? Get your pot, any pot will do, okay? If you want to boil it and make it in a teapot, you can do that as well. But you're just going to add this into the pot here. So it's roughly 1 liter, and it'll work out to be the right ratio to make the tea here, okay? So go ahead and do that. If you're watching this while you're making it, it's an easy way to do it. You can take your bottle and just set it aside, okay? You won't need that for the rest of this stage here. You're going to take your sugar package here. Again, the sugar, like I said, is just the food for the bacteria, so this sugar will be completely digested out. Seems like a lot of sugar for the amount of tea that we're making, and if you were to drink it, it would be a lot of sugar, but the thing is that, like I said, it will all be digested by this SCOBY and the bacteria that's living in and on it, okay? Again, open up your tea packets here, and you can put those in there as well, okay? So we're just gonna go over to the stove here. We're gonna boil this just until it's boiling, and then we're gonna turn it off and leave it. Leave it for overnight is best. So if you're doing this, you can do it the day ahead of time to make your tea, then that's great. The other thing you can do is just put this in an ice bath and it will cool down. With this amount of tea, it probably takes maybe an hour or two for it to actually cool to room temperature, okay? But if you want to speed it up, you can use ice, okay? Don't put the ice right in the tea, but put it in an iced bath to cool it down, okay? So when we're at the stove here, just gonna let that boil. Once it boils, turn it off, let it cool, okay? So through the magic of TV, we have some already prepared here. And this is basically cooled sweet tea, and it's fresh, okay? So what you want to do is just, again, just reach in, you're going to grab those 2 tea bags that are floating around in there, okay? Give them a bit of a squeeze, and then just discard or compost those, okay? This is room temperature, very important. Don't add the hot tea to your kombucha kit. It will kill the SCOBY, you won't get tea made, it'll just be a big mess, okay? So you're going to take off this microfiber top here. It's made of microfiber because we just don't want fruit flies and that to get in there. You may see some fruit flies around it, but we don't want them actually getting into your tea, okay? Really simple now at this point. You're just going to pour this tea nice and gently, just kind of run it down the side. The starter tea that's in there is going to make this brew acidic to keep away any other bacteria that may want to grow in there just while the tea is getting started, okay? So there you go. SCOBY's floating on top. SCOBY can float sideways, it can go down to the bottom. It really doesn't matter, but what's going to happen is a new SCOBY will actually start forming in around the 2 or 3 day mark on top there, okay? So let that sit now. So in the instructions it tells you all this stuff over again, but 7 to 10 days is how long you want to let this sit for, okay? In that 7 to 10 days, like I said, all that sugar is going to be digested out, and all the beneficial stuff that stays in the tea is going to be there for us to drink coming up, okay? With this amount of tea, I would say 7 days is probably long enough to let it ferment for, okay? Once the 7 days are up, again, you can let it go to 10 days, but 7 to 10 days in that range, okay? After those 7 to 10 days are up, then we're going to move on to the second stage, which is in the second video on this link here as well, okay? So I hope everyone gets a good feeling for what what making kombucha is all about, and look for our second video because it's the important part, the part that makes it taste delicious, all right?